Jara, I've been pondering on the concept of happiness, and I've come to a realization that I am the only source of my own happiness.
Yes, you are absolutely right.
You once mentioned that objects of the world are like mirrors, reflecting back our happiness. Can you elaborate on that?
Objects of the world encompass everything we perceive: the tangible and intangible, the material and the experiential. They serve two contradictory roles in our lives.
I remember you saying that objects motivate us to take action and bring us temporary happiness when we succeed. But what about their role in deceiving us?
Precisely. Most people believe that objects are the sole source of happiness. They become so fixated on obtaining objects that they fail to recognize the true source of happiness.
So, if objects fulfill our desires and bring us happiness, why does it matter from where the happiness comes from?
The problem lies in the impermanence of objects. They constantly change, and when we lose the objects that bring us happiness, we also experience sorrow. Not knowing the true source of happiness keeps us bound to this cycle of suffering.
I see what you mean. Sorry for interrupting. Please continue explaining why you compare objects to mirrors.
No problem at all. When we enter the state of deep sleep, the world ceases to exist for us. Yet, upon awakening, we recall that we slept peacefully. This proves that objects are not the source of our happiness. However, in the waking state, we require objects to experience happiness.
But what if I meditate and achieve a state of samadhi, where I can enjoy happiness without interacting with any objects?
It is true. In theory, it is possible. Monks who have renounced the world can achieve this state. However, in practicality, it might be challenging for you.
I understand. My lifestyle doesn't easily allow for deep meditation and reaching the state of samadhi.
Have you noticed what the deep sleep state and the samadhi state have in common?
There are no thoughts in both the states.
Exactly. And not just thoughts, but also the absence of the ego, also known as the I thought, is key. The ego is what prevents us from experiencing true happiness. It constantly urges us to seek external objects that might bring us happiness in the future. This constant reminder prevents us from enjoying the present moment. As in when we attain what we desire, the ego subsides, and we experience a sense of contentment.
Ah, I see. So, by comparing objects to mirrors, you mean that objects allow us to enjoy our natural happiness by temporarily freeing us from the grip of the ego.
Yes, you've grasped it perfectly. The ego is an illusion that gains a false sense of existence by keeping us burdened with guilt and anxiety. However, when we immerse ourselves in the enjoyment of objects, the ego fades away, and we can truly experience happiness.
So, in a way, we find our own happiness when we forget ourselves.
Precisely. We forget ourselves. We forget the world. We just remain in the pure state of bliss. Just as we don't proclaim, I am sleeping now, we cannot claim, I am happy now. When true happiness is present, the concept of I dissolves, and we become one with the blissful experience.